VGK host Edmonton tonight as the Oilers limp into town. The Golden Knights riding a 6-game win streak and can clinch a playoff berth on Tuesday night before a home crowd. Will shorthanded Edmonton be able to put up a fight? Or our answer coming up next right here on Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi again, everyone. I'm Tony Cardasco, longtime sportscaster, consultant for many major clients, and host of the Believe in Vegas podcast, along with Chris Golick alongside, and he is the collectibles editor for the Hockey News and the owner of Silver State Cards and Sports. Coming up ahead, we've got a VGK injury update and our locks and predictions for the night. Right here, of course, we are brought to you today by Gametime. Download the Gametime app. Use that promo code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off of your first purchase. Terms do apply. What time is it?
Game time.
It is game time. Chris, looking at this Oilers roster, 6 or 7 players are out, including the one and only Connor McDavid. And they're now saying that he'll be back before the end of the regular season, so that is some good news. Goaltender Stuart Skinner concussed on that hit, knee to the head by Mikko Rantanen. Of course, he is day-to-day. We saw that hit, as well as Matthias Ekholm, Alex Regula, Trent Frederick, the acquisition from Boston. Was he? I think he was injured, right, when they sent him over. And Evander Kane. You said Evander Kane's back on the ice, too.
Yeah, there was video of Evander Kane skating maybe 2 weeks ago. It looked pretty good. And obviously, insert LTIR Joe Carey with all the injuries, though. Maybe he'll all of a sudden be able to come back earlier. So we'll see how that plays out. Last update on McDavid, did not skate on March the 30th, so is unlikely to play definitely tonight and probably not in the not-so-distant future, like you said. Hopeful by the return of the regular season. They get VGK legend Calvin Pickard in net tonight. 18-8-1, 271 goals against, and an .899 save percentage. So a capable goalie who might have a little extra juice going against the club that ditched on him for Malcolm Subban about 8 years ago now. So something to watch. And Leon Draisaitl doing well without McDavid.
Yeah, for sure. And a season ago against the Golden Knights, it was, I think was that here in Vegas, April 10th, 2024. The Oilers beat the Golden Knights without Connor McDavid here. 5-1 was the final in that game. And I was trying to think back. I thought that there was a game in which it was late in the season, obviously. And VGK, I think, was tanking so that they could play an easier team in Dallas than.
Oh, the Ducks game?
Yeah. The Ducks, they started to tank down the end. I did watch that. Well, first of all, let's talk about the atmosphere tonight. Should be a very entertaining game and a playoff type of atmosphere because the Golden Knights will be doing, of course, what they do traditionally, and that is sealing a berth in the playoffs.
Well, I mean, first of all, don't even celebrate it. That's celebrating a playoff berth in hockey is very
Hang on. We live in an era in the NCAA tournament. After every win, you just go bonkers crazy and you just celebrate and you take the water, douse the coach, go to the club, party, and come back and play. It's a time of celebration, bro.
Soft. So, I mean, listen, it's Cassidy talked about in yesterday's press conference. It's a box you check to get you to the next step, fine, whatever. I don't think you're going to see the champagne flowing in the Golden Knights locker room. You'll probably get some members, hey, you clinched. How does it feel to clinch? And, the players are going to just kind of chuckle and laugh it off, but whatever. Now, the positive side is it's going to happen somewhere around game 73 or 74 versus game 80 or 81 like last season. So that's the positive in what's happening this season as far as checking the box to qualify for the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. But Possible playoff matchup, unlikely to be in the first round given the way VGK is playing and the way the Oilers are playing. I put out a tweet with this McDavid injury not too long ago that the Flames better watch out. They were division hopefuls, maybe 2 weeks ago, and then now all of a sudden they're maybe hopeful is a little bit of a too negative word, but they're looking to ensure that they make the playoffs safely. And it's not a foregone conclusion if they don't completely fall apart, I guess. They need to win. They need to win a few games to make sure they're safe. As far as the Western Conference goes, Edmonton has 89 points. The cut line is 87, but the Flames only have 82, and the Canucks have 81 points. So there's a 7-point gap. Yes, tough game for the Oilers tonight. Not going to say they're going to lose automatically, but tough spot. And all of a sudden, if the Flames win, now they're going to be only 5 games back. So a little bit of pressure down the stretch for them.
I did watch that Battle of Alberta on Saturday night, and Leon Draisaitl, that again, an always outstanding and fun game. And you have to wonder why they only played 3 times in a season, because they should play
3 or 4, depending on the
season. It was 3 this
schedule.
year. It's 3 this season, yeah. And so Leon Draisaitl scoring his 50th goal to tie the game, 51st in overtime for the winning goal. And this is a team that still has a lot of firepower. You have to make sure that you're very much aware. You can't just show up if you're VGK or if you're the fans thinking, oh, this will be an easy one without McDavid. Pointed back to the game a season ago. They do have firepower like Evan Bouchard, still Zach Hyman. And it's a team that is still very dangerous. This was an Edmonton team, right, that drew to within 1 or 2 points in the Pacific, and then McDavid gets hurt. I think Draisaitl was out for a couple of games, and now Stuart Skinner, and so they're fading back here in the division, and they'll probably finish in 3rd place because you've got the Kings playing most of their final games at home. But it's still a very talented team, and VGK has got to be on their toes tonight as the Oilers come calling.
Betting line's a little bit tight tonight, minus 160 for the Vegas Golden Knights. I'm not sure what I expected to see, and I guess the biggest question I have is how much different would it be if McDavid was in the lineup? I know McDavid obviously moves
140, 140, 135.
Probably 135, yeah. I feel like that's just McDavid is worth that kind of money as far as from a betting line goes. I think I saw a stat, Draisaitl has played without McDavid 7 times this season. He has 14 games. He's got 7 goals and 7 assists, so a lot of people have probably attached Draisaitl's success based off of McDavid, and I think that's probably a very false narrative. Sure, they make each other better when they're on the ice, no doubt about that, but Draisaitl can stand on his own 2 feet and do just fine, and is among when people forget that Draisaitl is probably top 5 in the entire National Hockey League. McDavid's number 1, Draisaitl's number 5, or in the top 5, and that's just how good he is. And like you said, the Golden Knights can't just show up and go through the motions, though they're going to be missing a few players themselves. We'll talk about that later. First game back from a week-long road trip. That doesn't bode well as well for the Golden Knights situation tonight.
Bruce Cassidy echoed what I said on yesterday's show. He said in his presser, VGK is finishing a lot better. We talked about that yesterday, scoring all those 3rd period goals. He said it was something that they lacked earlier. And back in January, they were losing a lot of games because they couldn't finish well. I think this is a big key now down the stretch for the Golden Knights and into the playoffs. If they make it.
It's hard to find really anything negative about the VGK game right now. Penalty kill has been a little bit rough, but that's the type of thing that probably takes care of itself when the playoffs start. Pietrangelo being out in the short term is not going to help. Hopefully he's back soon to shore up the penalty kill. But outside of the penalty kill, what's one thing you watch in a game you're like, man, this team could be doing this better? I mean, William Karlsson's not even going to empty that goals, Tony. That's a sign.
They take him off the ice anymore. Right, yeah, they were tired of him padding his stats, so they take him off the ice. No joke.
They're starting to eye his next contract. But no, a lot's going well for Vegas right now. A lot is going well, and hopefully this is how the next 3 weeks go in between now and basically the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs will start 3 weeks and 1 day from tonight, I believe. So this is really the most important time of the year. We talked last week, our VGK peaking at the right or wrong time. And I don't think they're peaking right now just based off of the injuries. I think they still got more upward momentum to go. Is it Stanley Cup worthwhile? That's another conversation for another time, but everything is trending the right direction. And you just hope you avoid some type of catastrophe. There we go.
Yeah.
Some type of catastrophe. I can't get out of my mouth right now. Stay in school.
Speaking of which,
good.
speaking of catastrophes, did you see the news about you were joking, but Carlson, they're working on a new 7-year deal, and he's going to make about $7.5 million a year. April Fools. I had it. Okay, I didn't catch you. All right. In any event, yeah, I was pretty bad.
My radar is on today. I know I'm walking on eggshells around the house. I never know. I know Amanda had something on her mind, but you never know. You never know.
Okay, so you cannot lose the employee of the year, and do not, whatever you do not take away her parking place. Okay, I know she got that along with dinner. And
she gets the garage. I get the garage. I get the driveway.
You do? Okay. Edmonton, they enter this game against VGK 9 points behind the Golden Knights. And here's a team that absolutely got jobbed, okay? Remember coming out of the Four Nations right after it?
Oh, yeah.
They've got the Flyers and Caps back to back. This is where they started to fade. And then they play at the Lightning and at the Panthers, 4 games on the road in 6 days. You talk about a rigged schedule coming out of this Four Nations, and VGK just, what were they, home for the entire month after that? They have 8 games in a row at home. Rigged, bro. It was rigged.
VGK out of the Four Nations.
What do they have? 6 in a row? No, they have 5 of 6.
Home game, one a long road game to Los Angeles. Long road game. They all Ubered there. And then a 5-game homestand.
Yeah, 5-game homestand. Remember? So that was the difference there.
And I mean,
go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say Edmonton's got a tough road right now, and looking at their they had a 3-game winning streak when they went to the Islanders, the Rangers, home game against Utah, dropped a close one against the Jets. And then this is where the McDavid stuff happens, I believe. It was the first game against the Kraken. They squeak out a 5-4 victory. Dallas gets them 4-3. Seattle beats them 6-1, just blows them out of the building. But then getting ready for the battle for Alberta. That was that would have been a great spot if for a sharp better to be like, okay, battle for Alberta on Saturday, letdown game against the Kraken on Thursday, and I wish I would have caught that sooner. So yeah, I mean, tough sledding for Edmonton right now. This starts a 4-game, basically West Coast road trip. Golden Knights, Sharks, Kings, Ducks. So outside of the Golden Knights, Kings too, that'll be tough as well. So, maybe the Sharks game. Watch out. The Sharks game is the letdown game on the 3rd. That's the spot. Bet the Sharks no matter what the line is on that game. Bet the Sharks on April the 3rd.
Did Celebrini get a new car yet? Do you think after the Ranger bus rammed into it? Someone also showed us the video of it yesterday. Coming up next,
a Tesla. He can be on Wham Bam Tesla Cam. Look that up next time. It's actually pretty cool.
Okay, I will check that out. Coming up next, we'll have an update on VGK injuries. Locked On Golden Knights continues after this. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my March Madness money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, especially here in Las Vegas, it is so easy to lose track. And that's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It is a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place, so you can just stop managing your money and start building your wealth. When I started to use Monarch Money, I realized how much I am spending on a lot of frivolous things. Again, here in Vegas, the money just gets away. It really does. And I do need to budget smarter and save more. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can now use Monarch to check your finances, track your spending, and even plan long-term goals. Managing money with your partner is smoother than ever before. You can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, and stay on the same page without all of the stress. So right now, use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL for $50 off of your first year. Again, it is promo code LOCKEDONNHL, 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com. Back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights, Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. You can find us wherever you get your podcast. Make sure on Fridays you check out our unbelievable feature, and that is WTF. So Bruce Cassidy had some updates for us yesterday. Go figure, because the team's at home, and yeah, no one really to question him on the road, which is really sad. So Tomas Hertl, he'll be back today. No, he won't. I'm tired of these stupid updates that people are just throwing out there. He's not going to be returning this week. Tomas Hertl will not be returning this week. There was someone that saw Hertl the other day. Did you see one of our friends or fans? I forgot who it was. And his kid plays hockey, and Hertl's kid plays hockey. They were out there. Are you okay?
I'm young. I'm tired.
All right. Just checking in.
I trade coffee here though, so it's good waking me up.
I know you have allergies too, so I was just trying to. Look,
They're bad. It's like real heavy right now, like real heavy in the nose.
Yeah. So so somebody saw Hertl the other day, and he said he didn't have any sort of a brace or cast on his wrist. So that's sort of encouraging. But he said that, who knows? I said you should have just accidentally bumped into his shoulder and saw how he reacted. But Tomas Hertl won't be returning for at least another week.
Reading between the lines, I still
not
don't
the tea leaves, bro.
No, reading between the lines, I still don't like what I'm hearing. I've seen reports popping out from various places that it might not be as bad as originally thought. There's nothing to indicate that I'm aware of,
bro. They're not credible sources.
So Cassidy, he's not playing this week. That's all I have for you. Like, this is not the Cassidy coach speak that should give you, oh, okay, he might be back. This might not be as bad as we thought. There's literally nothing out there to indicate that. Now, people have sources saying otherwise, and they're credible, fine, whatever. But just going off of Cassidy's poker face,
it's the only person I listen to is Bruce, and Bruce we trust.
Well, but the thing is, Tony, this is the time of year also where that competitive advantage comes into play with respect to injuries and such. And they're saying the official designation, I believe, is day-to-day from what I've heard, number one. But it's April 1st. That doesn't mean an April Fool's bad joke, but it's April 1st. That's irrelevant right now because the team is going to be more careful with what they say now than in game 47 of the regular season. They're going to be insanely careful, and they can always say, even if they know right now, today, April 1st, that his entire 24-25 campaign is over, they're going to be out there saying different things, putting out some smoke signals right now. It's just what every team does at this stage of the year. If the Golden Knights were out of the playoff hunt, maybe you would get a little more of a clear path. But they're in the hunt. There's teams scouting VGK, getting ready for playoff matchups. St. Louis, Minnesota, most likely, and Cassidy is going to continue to be very coy about what's really going on. But there's nothing out there, and the way he said it in the press conference. That there's nothing positive, number one. Is there anything more negative? I'll be fair about that. But this isn't no news is good news right now. This is no news is not good news right now.
It's not good news. No, because the whole world was saying he'd be back soon.
I saw that circulating all over social. I ran into someone the other day, and he's like, I got a source. I'm like, okay.
No bueno.
Girls coming back next week. Okay. I laughed at him. I laughed at his face. I laughed at his face.
Of course. No. A lot sharper than a lot of this stuff going on out there. Okay, so Samsonov, I can't get away from calling him Samsonov. Samsonov replaced by Akira Schmid, which I'm really surprised. I really am. We went through all the numbers, everything else. Lindbaum seems like the logical choice. Why are they bringing up Akira Schmid, and how do they play the goalies now with 4 games in 6 days?
So talked about this a little bit on Monday's show, but It doesn't matter. Aiden Hill can go
Does he go
Tuesday,
against
Edmonton,
Winnipeg?
Thursday, Winnipeg,
He'll go.
Saturday, road, Calgary.
He'll go all three. Okay.
He can go all three, I think, which will be 5 games in a row, which could be a concern. Otherwise, Sunday, April the 6th is the back-to-back. Tail end is against Vancouver. That's the game where a goalie not named Aiden Hill will likely be in nets. So Schmid might simply be up in the short term as Samsonov gets better, just in a mop-up role in case anything goes bad with Aiden for these next couple of games. Hopefully, I'm not sure if I'm in a world where I'm hopeful that Samsonov takes the net, but hopefully Samsonov takes the nets against Vancouver this week, and all is fine. You said why Schmid and not Lindbaum? Well, the answer is pretty simple there. And number one, it's experience. It's NHL games experience.
They've invested more in.
They've invested more in it, but it's NHL games experience. And Schmid definitely checks that box. I don't think Lindbaum
Schmid
is ever.
Or Schmid?
Schmid.
I think it's Schmid.
Schmid.
Okay.
They said Schmid. That's what they said Saturday against in the Silver Knights game. But
okay, they said Schmid.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, the other side of that is you don't want to start Lindbaum's waiver clock too. Once you start playing a certain number of games and everything, all of that comes into play and all that. So if it was a long-term thing, I think they might have actually considered. If this is the middle of the season, Tony, and it looked like a long-term thing, I could see them putting equal consideration into the goalies, and at least to see what they might have in Lindbaum. But now's not the time of the year to mess around, because just in case, we've seen, again, this is Vegas. The Vegas Golden Knights goalie locker room is directly above an Indian burial ground, and this can turn real quickly where all of a sudden Schmid is the starter. We've seen that happen. The Stanley Cup year, 5 goalies used.
Yeah.
I think this is the stretch when Jonathan Quick was starting a bunch of games during the Stanley Cup run. So anything can happen. Schmid's got the experience, so get him at least on professional ice with the professional players, just in case.
And then you have Alex Pietrangelo was out there skating yesterday, according to Bruce Cassidy.
Need a little rest.
Yeah, he doesn't think that he'll be in the lineup tonight, potentially on Thursday.
I think that's pretty safe at this point.
Did he finish all the chores around the house?
Listen, this is something that I was banging the drum for a while.
Doing chores?
Yes, doing chores, cleaning up around the house. But to be fair, Pietrangelo, it might be the greatest family guy in the entire team.
Tremendous, of course.
But going back to his injury situation, it was clear as day the dude hasn't been right since long before the Four Nations. Good on him not to go to the Four Nations and be selfish. I'm sure other players were a bit dinged up, and they're like, yeah, I'm going. Nothing's going to stop me from playing exhibition hockey. Woohoo. So good on Pietrangelo to get that rest. Unfortunately, it didn't necessarily cure what he needed. So give him a few more days off, and hopefully Pietrangelo will be right heading in, because that's a major box that needs to be checked if the Golden Knights are going to get anywhere near a Stanley Cup run. Pietrangelo and Hertl cannot miss extended games once the playoffs start.
Yeah. Is there a line out there on whether Karlsson will score a goal?
Yeah. I don't know if the props are up
for the remainder of the regular season.
Oh, for the regular season, I'm sure the no would be probably about
I bet
minus 20,000.
Minus 20,000. Are these injuries a concern, you think? Or I just like the way the injuries a concern?
Yes.
Because I do like the way VGK is plugging a lot of holes without having to go the AHL route or trading for Brendan Brassard to get him back.
No, I mean, you're seeing this. I mean, the Olofsson, that's the guy. Olofsson was a healthy scratch.
IKEA line.
Olofson's a healthy scratch, and all of a sudden now that the Karlsson, the IKEA line might be a driving line down the stretch.
Someone stole that too. They steal everything.
That's fine. Saw Alex Holtz in the American League on Saturday. He's
what's he doing? Nothing, right?
He's a guy. He's a guy.
Okay, we talk about all these successes, folks. Alexander Holtz is going to be a big time player. When?
Well, I think the ultimate where I'm
going. What, he scored one goal at HSK and everyone was
probably
going bananas?
No, he had like a 4-goal game or a hat trick or something crazy like that. But point being is, like you said, they do have some depth right now, while Brendan Brassard's been traded for a bag of parts. We
don't have to wonder if they're going to bring him up right now.
No, we don't got to
That's a
wonder.
good thing.
While Holtz
Yeah.
is not getting NHL time,
Well,
Lavoie is back down. So the depth is there. And outside of Hertl, the forwards are healthy right now.
yeah, they are pretty healthy. Coming up next, we do have our locks and predictions. Stay with us right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Looking for a snack that is both delicious and nutritious? Crack into a good source of protein with wonderful pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they are packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help to keep you feeling fuller longer. I definitely do love the no shells variety, and that is the perfect grab and go, perfect snack for very busy days, which is like 90% of these days are busy right now. Not complaining, but whether I'm snacking at my desk or on a road trip or just need a little quick pick me up, a protein boost, if you will, there is always my go to again. And that, of course, is Wonderful Pistachios. The fact that Wonderful Pistachios is a complete protein, it provides all 9 essential amino acids. And again, the no shells Wonderful Pistachios are perfect for that grab and go ease. As I said, the satisfying crack of opening up each shell, it is like snack mediation. Whether you are running around between meetings or dropping off the kids, Wonderful Pistachios are the snack that works as hard as you do. Get snacking and get crackin' Vegas with a snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com. Again, get crackin'. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com. Back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights, Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick reporting from Las Vegas. We appreciate you making us your first listen every day. Find us wherever you get your podcast. Fridays, WTF, Saturday, sometimes Chris Jr. show. Have you ever been pranked on April 1st? Have you ever, April Fool's Day?
I feel like they got me at one point, but I forgot what.
Yeah, I got a couple of employees. We had a sampling vehicle, and they said that it got towed downtown. And I got in my car and started driving there. And then they said April Fools, and I wanted to
That's awesome.
get cracking.
I've always wanted, so you
I
can
wanted to
see
get cracking.
You can see like I got a camera. This is like what people see when I'm breaking. They see my hands and all that.
We got the multi-view. I like it.
Multi-view. So this is what they're seeing when I'm breaking and all that. For like 8 years I've wanted to like somehow do a gag where, because a lot of times when I'm opening products, like I take a box of cards and I do this and I take a razor blade and I crack and I open it and then take the packs out of my business and all that. I've actually always wanted to do a joke where I like cut like a fake hand and blood starts flying everywhere, and then I log off immediately from the stream. I've wanted to do that like every April Fool's for like 8 years. I just haven't done it yet.
You need to like put up the test pattern on your screen, and it's like, oh my god, what happened to Golick?
Oh yeah, no, I can do all that in my OBS. Yeah, I know the graphics. I can definitely have some fun with that.
And then you resurrect a la Mark Stone, and you just start going crazy with the fans.
Yes.
Okay, it is time for our locks and predictions for tonight's game, and I think that the tariffs got heavier after the U.S. lost to Canada.
Oh, there better not be booze tonight.
You think there'll be booze?
I don't know.
Behave, folks. Behave, everyone on both sides there.
Yeah,
enjoy the game.
Absolutely.
A ton of Edmonton fans travel with the
team. Always. The
awesome. They've got great fans. Are you going tonight? Are you able to go?
Me and Chris are going tonight.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't miss Edmonton unless
you love it. Huh?
Yeah, I can't. I mean, with McDavid being out, I thought about not going. To be fair,
is he wearing his Team Canada jersey?
No, he's got one better.
He does. He's got a McDavid jersey.
Hold on a second.
Okay, check it in. Little Chris doesn't give us predictions anymore.
Chris, your time is perfect.
Yeah.
Hi, Chris. So, what jersey are you wearing tonight? Over here, microphone. Right here, Chris. Focus.
The McDavid jersey. He was apparently not playing.
He's wearing his McDavid jersey tonight,
even though he's not playing. Hey, we haven't heard from you, buddy. Do you have any locks of the night for us?
Let's go 2-1 Oilers.
Okay.
And Smith and Eichel.
Smith and Eichel. Okay. Are you going to prank anyone at school today for April 1st? April Fool's Day? Do you know what that is?
I have a whole list. I have
Oh.
I have an entire list.
Am I on that list?
No.
Good.
No.
Can you
Post? Can you give that to Dad so he can post it later? I want to see it. I want to see
I want
it.
to see this list too. I want to see this list.
I think this is great. How long did you work on this? Since last year, April 1st? Or
More
been a
like
while.
yesterday.
Yesterday. Okay. Well, good luck there. I hope it's a fun one. And don't get in any trouble. Okay.
I get in some trouble. Have fun.
An entire list. That's great.
I didn't know. I just learned this now. That's interesting.
Let's see. Hopefully they're good and fun ones. Oh, I didn't give my locks of the night, and then you could get yours in. 4-2 VGK. People hate that I predict the Golden Knights are going to win, but again, a roster that's depleted here for Edmonton. VGK is on a roll, an opportunity, of course, to seal up another playoff berth. And I've got Howden, and I have that player who has, quote, offensive acumen. We saw his offensive acumen last year. Cassidy, yesterday, kind of slid that in about
I was wondering, you had that in your thing. I don't know what the heck that even meant.
I have offensive. I'm very offensive on this show.
Yeah,
I've
you're
got
offensive.
that acumen.
Who's the player?
I have Howden and Wah. It was about Wah. And 4-2 VGK. Howden will probably score the empty netter at the end again. So he's the new Carlson, but I'm good with that. I'm absolutely fine. Just keep Vegas Bjorn off the ice.
I don't know. I don't have a good vibe on the game as far as a read. Usually I feel like I understand the game better. This game could go either way. If you're looking for value, bet the Oilers side. That's where the value is. There's no value on VGK. I think this game is closer to a toss-up. Given first game back from the road trip for Vegas, also first game of the road trip for Edmonton. A lot of just weirdness about that game. I wrote down 4-3 Vegas. I don't like it. I could have wrote down 4-3 Edmonton and not like that just as much. Let's give some love to the grinders. Let's go Kolesar and Pearson tonight.
Okay. My over
Kolesar GWG tipping with about 4.5 minutes left.
My over-under is 10:41 and a hook a.m. this morning. And I'll take the under on when the principal calls you into the office today. No telling what's on that list of April Fool's pranks.
I don't know if either my kids got him to do something that stupid to get to that point. Especially nowadays, you gotta do a lot more nowadays. Like old days, you did something wrong. You had the fear of God in you when you went to the principal's office. Then your parents when you got home. Nowadays, no joke, you get called to the principal's office and they give you a sucker. Oh. Do better. Here's a sucker. Like it's
you get a participation sucker for doing something wrong.
Pretty much, yeah. That's the way you look at it. It's soft. It's unfortunate, but that's the reality.
We appreciate everyone tuning in. The Golics are going to the hockey game tonight. I hope little Chris is there and not suspended. No, just kidding. Can you publish the list later? I want to see.
I want to see this list. Yeah, Chris, I want the list.
He's got to show you the list. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel and tune in every day. That's where we're at right here. From my man, Chris Golick, I am Tony Cardasco from Las Vegas. We'll see you again tomorrow right here on Locked On Golden Knights, and please take care.